I am beautiful Joy Fields. I am from Texas. I currently live in Chicago, so a bit of a transplant per se. I studied math in undergrad at Langston University, which is an HBCU in Oklahoma, and I loved it. And currently in the aviation industry, I'm a senior analyst in the revenue management department of United Airlines. I had no intentions of being in the airline industry whatsoever. So I saw words like magic and global, and that's what, and vibes, whoever put vibes, I'm totally here for it. And so I ended up interning 2 years consecutively with United, caught some vibes, felt magical. And so I stayed, and now I'm 3.5 years at United. For me, the three things I put are analytics, critical thinking, and collaboration. And so in revenue management, I use data to make revenue optimal decisions, right? So kind of like the big picture that Claire is talking about has what we call like logistics or like steps or a plan to achieve those things, right? And you want to continue to improve and grow and expand your skill set, which as a byproduct impacts the work you do. And in my case, the revenue you optimize. And we do that through analysis. And I think it's really critical that if you're going to be like in the data analytics field of STEM per se, that you really want to continue to refine those skill sets and stretch yourself and explore yourself, which kind of stems to the critical thinking aspect of things. So being a math major, the most impactful thing that I learned was critical thinking, more so than proofs or algorithms. It's learning a way to think that challenges what you believe or what you see, and sometimes understanding that there is a right answer and there is a wrong answer. And being confident and realizing, when it's wrong, like, okay, let's do it again. Like, let's refine. Like, it's not the final step. Like, it's a continually improving process, which is why critical thinking, it's a necessary skill wherever you go. And then finally, collaboration in the STEM field. I know in undergrad, and even before I started, I did a STEM program at Langston, and there was so much more collaboration than I would have thought of as far as being a math major. And you will come up against challenges and you do not solve them by yourself. You rely on team members, and through sharing your own ideas and encouraging others to share like new ideas or birth, right? That provide more creative solutions or that do a better job at increasing revenue in a shorter amount of time or being efficient. Within revenue management, what that really means is, and I hope to make some friends when I say this, if you've ever seen, like, if you're ever going to purchase a flight ticket and then you come back, maybe you've seen that the price has increased or the price has decreased as well. That's what my department does essentially, pricing and revenue management. And so for me, managing Florida, what that looks like is I get to work with network planning. And network planning basically decides which flights we're flying to which cities, how many flights. So if I'm managing Florida, and let's say for spring break, a lot more people want to go to Florida for spring break or when it gets cold, especially if you're in Chicago or New York. And so I get to say, hey, we need more flights. We need more revenue opportunities by providing more seats from Chicago, from New York, from around the domestic and even international system to Florida. And so speaking of the international network system, so if someone's in Central America and wants to travel to Florida, if someone's coming from Europe or Africa and wants to travel to Florida, I get to interact with sales. And the sales department essentially deals a lot with like group bookings or maybe like saying, hey, fly United and you have a better price if you purchase like a group ticket. And I get to say, hey, I think we should charge more for this group, or this is a really good price point. We should accept this offer. And then there's another group, loyalty. So loyalty is also where we build like our reputation and our brand with our customers or flyers and just really work to say, hey, continue to fly United. And we do that by providing a great service for both business and leisure customers.
I would say getting involved. And I think Valeria really spoke to that aspect of being kind. Being kind is so underrated in our society today. And it's something I used to think like people just knew, and I don't think that it is. I think it needs to be taught. And I think a great way to learn that is through volunteering and being involved in outside organizations. Which kind of goes to the other point of like building integrity and character. And I know for me, especially in college, cheating was like very new. And of course, you want to get a good grade and maybe have homecoming, or maybe there are other things, but I would really say focus on growing integrity and character in the little things that seem like irrelevant, right? So if it's really an open book test and you're not supposed to use your friends, don't use your friends. Like it's, you build upon those things, like those intrinsic qualities develop into who you are as an adult and as a professional. Because when I'm managing revenue, like there's opportunities like, am I going to have character? Am I going to interpret this data in a factual manner and not present a biased picture to make myself look good as an analyst? I think that's really important. And I think when you do that, you come in contact with people who share like-minded values and interests, which is, I think like the organization is really big. So I was part of Rotary or Kiwanis or Top Teens of America, Jack and Jill, and it really exposes you to things outside of yourself that you may not have known existed. And I think all of those things develop you, and not just like analytically, but also character wise. I cannot reiterate it. Like just being kind, having character, those are things that matter. People like working with nice people. People don't want to work with someone if they're like, I can't trust them, I can't depend upon them. I think those things are very important. You want to be a good team member. I think it ties back to that organizational aspect, like volunteering, being involved in other organizations. I also believe in Google. The power of Google is amazing. I'm being very sincere. I know that for me, and when you volunteer with other organizations, other opportunities are a direct result of that. So in high school, I volunteered. It carried over to college, and I got to participate in the Thurgood Marshall College Leadership Fund, Leadership Institute. And so I was all these other companies looking for top tier students. And that program literally opened up the doorway for me to intern with United. And so I was very fortunate that I received an offer from United Airlines, which ultimately led to a full-time offer. But I also want to mention that aspect of like, there are internships that I applied for that I did not get. It's really good to know what you're interested in and looking for, but don't be so focused that you automatically eliminate other opportunities. Because when United said, hey, we'd like to interview you for an internship opportunity, I could have said, I have no idea what you all do. Absolutely not. Like what? But I didn't. I said yes. And so and I was sharing like what I desired to do, I'm able to do in my current role. And so I thought the only way I could do that is by being at this specific company in this specific title with this specific location. And that's not true. So continue to explore, be involved. That will open up opportunities for you to learn more, to have different intentional conversations. And if you do not get accepted, I will not lie, I did not get accepted, and I went to my hotel room and I cried. And I knew before I got the rejection email, I knew it was going to happen, but it did not stop me. I was like, you know what? It wasn't a good fit for me. And I've learned to like handle like no's a lot better, and I'm learning to grow from no's even continually. No's are okay. It just gives you an opportunity to place yourself in a different position for something that may be better for you. A straight line may not be the best path to your goal. And so as a math major, I like a very linear path. However, sometimes the things we need to develop us to get to that goal, it may take us to different companies, different departments. So if you want to be a pilot, maybe you might want to start in revenue management and learn more about or work like in the actual airport and customer service. It provides context and value to you really being able to, once you reach that goal, do the best you really can. I'd say the second thing is STEM can take you anywhere and use it to do good. I really believe that your skill set, like Larry was saying, like we're creating the world we live in. Use that skill, that analytics, that science, technology, engineering, math. Use it for good. I kind of feel like an Avenger. And then finally, I'd say we're people. Be kind. Like sincerely, be kind. We're people. We have hard days. We have good days. Give yourself grace and extend that with others as well.